Good afternoon, everyone. Now we are going to discuss about grief and resolution of grief. Loss is a universal experience that occurs throughout lifespan. Grief is a form of sorrow involving feelings, thoughts, and behaviors caused by bereavement. And grief is a subjective state of emotional, physical, and social response to the loss of a valued entity. That means the loss may be real, in which case it can be substantiated by others. If, for example, death of a loved one, or perceived by the individual alone, in which case it cannot be perceived or shared by others. Example, loss of feeling of femininity following mastectomy. If a person may undergo mastectomy, removal of breast, if maybe cancerous breast is there, that may be removal. Because of that, the person may undergo depression and psychological problems will be happen. In that cases, the person may undergo grief. Okay. And if a death of a loved one and perceived by the individual alone, and it cannot be perceived or shared by others, in that time only the person may undergo an emotional, physical, social response to the loss of a valued entity. Okay. And it is a form of sorrow following feelings, thoughts, and behaviors caused by bereavement. And after that, responses to loss are strongly influenced by one's cultural background, and the grief process involves a sequence of affective, cognitive, and psychological states as a person responds to and finally accepts a loss. Okay. Responses to loss are strongly influenced by one's cultural background, and the grief process involves a sequence of affective, cognitive, and psychological states as a person responds to and finally accept a loss. And after that, loss and grieving. Loss, something valuable is gone, and grief means total response to emotional experience related to loss. Bereavement, subjective response by loved ones. And mourning means behavioral response. Okay. Loss means if something valuable is gone, the person may have suffered with an loss. And grief, total response to emotional experience related to loss. And bereavement, subjective response by loved ones. And mourning means behavioral response. And after that, grief and loss, there may be stages are there. According to Kubler-Ross, having done extensive research with terminally ill patients, identified 5 stages of feelings and behavior that individuals experience in response to a real, perceived, or anticipated loss. Stage 1, denial. Denial means it refuses to believe that the loss has occurred, and this is a stage of shock and disbelief. The response may be one of no, it cannot be true. And denial is a protective mechanism that allows the individual to cope within an immediate time frame while organizing more effective defense strategies. Okay. This is about denial. Denial means it is a stage of shock and disbelief. Okay. Refuses to believe that the loss has occurred. And after that, anger. Anger means the individual resists the loss and may act out feelings. Why me? And it is not fair. Are comments often expressed during the anger stage. Okay. Anger may be directed at self or displayed on loved ones, caregivers, and even God also. Okay. Anger may be directed at self or displayed on loved ones or caregivers and even God. There may be a preoccupation with an idealized image of the lost entity. Okay, it's not fair. And why me? These are the comments expressed during the anger stage. The individual resists the loss and may act out feelings. And after that, bargaining. If God will help me through this, I promise I will go to church every Sunday and volunteer my time to help others. These are the Promises, the bargaining means if you give, I also give. So if you help me, I'll give time to you. Okay, these are the main bargaining. And in us also that bargaining is there, na? We go and pray also, God please help me, but we can't give time to pray. Okay, so in that bargaining, the individual attempts to make a deal in an attempt to postpone the reality of loss. And during this stage, which is generally not visible or evident to others, a bargain is made with God in an attempt to reverse or postpone the loss. Okay, they may be postponed or reversed. The attempt to be reversed or postponed. And after that depression, during this stage, the full impact of the loss is experienced. This is a time of quiet separation and disengagement from all associations with the lost entity. And after that acceptance, the final stage brings a feeling of peace regarding the loss that has occurred. Focus is on the reality of the loss and its meaning for the individuals affected by it. And all individuals do not experience each of these stages in response to a loss, nor do they necessarily experience them in this order. And some individuals' grieving behavior may fluctuate and even overlap between stages. Okay, these are the acceptance. That means brings a feeling of peace and regarding the loss that has occurred. This is about acceptance. Acceptance means the individual comes to terms with loss or impending loss, psychological reactions to loss, to the losses, and the interaction to other people resumed. Okay, and after that, and these are about stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Okay, the shortcut form is DABDA. DABDA: denial, anger, depression, bargaining, and acceptance. And these are about grief. Responses to loss are strongly influenced by one's cultural background, and the grief process involves a sequence of affective, cognitive, and psychological states as a person responds to and finally accepts a loss. And it is a universal experience that occurs throughout lifespan. And grief is a form of sorrow involving feeling, thoughts, behaviors caused by bereavement. Okay, this is about grief. And after that, loss and grieving, stages of grieving by Kubler-Ross. DABDA, that means denial. Denial means refusal to believe, and anger, hostility, bargaining, feeling of guilt and fear of punishment, and depression, withdrawn behavior. Acceptance comes to terms with loss. And after that, loss and grieving. Here, and after that, death and dying. According to Koshia, age infancy to 5 years of old, no clear concept of death. It is reversible and temporary sleep. Okay, in infancy to 5 years, they don't know how is death, and when death occurs, they don't know, and they are peacefully sleep. And after that, 5 to 9 years understands death is final but can be avoided. In 5 to 9 years children, they may be understand about the death. And 9 to 12 years, death is inevitable, understands on mortality. And after that, 12 to 18 years, fears a lingering death. That means their okay, in 12 to 18, fears a lingering death, and 18 to 45, that means in 12 to 18, they fear about the death. And 18 to 45, attitude is influenced by religion. That may be they know about the religion and they go through it. And 45 to 65 years, experiences peak of death anxiety. And 65 and above, death has multiple meanings. This is about death and dying. And after that, nursing responsibilities in death and dying. Before that, we see resolution of grief. In resolution of grief, the process of mourning is thought to have occurred when an individual can look back on the relationship with the lost entity and accept both the pleasure and the disappointments and both the positive and negative aspects of the association. And preoccupation with the lost entity is replaced with energy and desire to pursue new situations and relationships. The length of the grief process may be prolonged by a number of factors. If the relationship with the lost entity had been marked by ambivalence, reaction to the loss may be burdened with guilt, which lengthens the grief reaction. If anticipatory grief, where a loss is anticipated, individuals often begin the work of grieving before the actual loss occurs. Most people experience the grieving behavior once the actual loss occurs, but having this time to prepare for the loss can facilitate the process of mourning, actually decreasing the length and intensity of the response. The number of recent losses experienced by an individual also affects the length of the grieving process. Okay, if the number of recent losses experienced by that person, it also affects the length of grieving process and whether he is able to complete one grieving process before another loss occurs. Okay, this is about resolution of grief. What is resolution of grief? The process of mourning is thought to have occurred when individual can look back onto the relationship with the lost entity and accept both the pleasure and the disappointments. Okay, and they're thinking about past life and their grief and mourning, and they goes into the depression and anxiety and feeling alone. Okay, in that cases nurses must give psychological support to the patient. And after that, what are the nursing responsibilities in death and dying? Nurses need to take time to analyze their own feelings about death before they can effectively help others with terminal illness. And nurses need to take time to analyze their own feelings. Okay, and after that we can effectively help to the others and terminally illness. And after that, the major goals for the dying clients are maintain psychological and physiological support. The nurse only should give psychological and physiological support and to achieve a dignified and peaceful death and to maintain personal control. Provide relief from loneliness, fear and depression. We must provide to the patient loneliness, fear and depression and help clients maintain sense of security and help clients accept losses and provide physical comfort. And what are the death concepts? 1 to 5 immobility and inactivity, wishes and unrelated action responsible for action, and 5 to 10 final but can be avoided. And 9 to 12 years, they understand own mortality and fears of death. And 12 to 18 years, this already we seen once you go through it. Fears and fantasizes avoidance. And 18 to 45, increased attitude awareness. And 45 to 60, they accept the death. And above 65, multiple meanings and encounters and fears. This is all about death concepts. What are all the interventions? DABDA. Denial means in denial, if the person may be in the situation of shock and disbelief, we have to support the patient, and the response may be one of no, it cannot be true. We must give defensive strategies to the patient and support to the patient. In A means anger provides structure and continuity. That means we have to decrease that anger, we have give the psychological support to the patient. And after that, B bargaining, listen and encourage and allow expression and provide for safety, D. And A for encourage participation. This is all about grief and loss and stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And what is loss? Something valuable is gone. And grief means total response to emotional experience related to loss. This is all about grief and loss. Loss is a universal experience that occurs throughout lifespan, and grief is a form of sorrow involving feelings, thoughts, and behaviors caused by bereavement. This is about grief and loss. Once go through this topic, psychological needs of the patient or psychosocial needs of the patient. Till now, we discussed about grief, loss, and psychosocial needs of patient, introduction about that, and resolution of grief. Grief is a subjective state of emotional, physical, and social response to the loss of a valued entity. The loss may be real, in which case it can be sustained by others. For example, death of a loved one, or an individual alone, and loss of feeling of femininity following mastectomy. And these are the main examples, stages of grief according to Kubler-Ross: denial, anger, bargaining, and depression and acceptance. Thank you.